Race 2 at Oschersleben, round 10 of DTM 2026, and Thomas Preining on pole position for the second time this weekend in the Manthey Porsche. He got off to a good start, but so too did Luca Engel in the Red Bull apt Lamborghini around the outside of the 2023 champion into turn 1, but he braked a bit too late into turn 2, ran wide and gave the place straight back up, almost also losing out to the Ford Mustang of Arjun, who in turn was coming under attack from Marco Wittmann in the Schubert BMW, having his best qualifying of the season coming from the second row of the grid. Also on the attack was the Aston Martin for Country Racing of the driver now sitting second in the championship, Nicky Tim. An issue with his tyres in qualifying meant he was having to come from near the back of the grid. 2 mandatory pit stops in the race. Luca Engel, the first of the front runners to come in, the team changing the rears, then the fronts, and getting him back out onto the circuit. 3 times now the German driver has qualified the new Temerario in the top 3 in its first season of the championship. Could he get his second podium finish of the weekend? He came out ahead of Arjun, who was still ahead of Marco Wittmann's BMW. A great strategy, great in-laps, and a fantastic outlap from the championship leader Maro Engel threw him into contention. This putting him into the podium positions from 7th after the first round of pit stops, as he came out ahead of Engel, Miney and Wittmann. But there was still one more front runner to come in. Last to make his first pit stop was the 2024 DTM champion Mirko Bortolotti. It wasn't a particularly amazing stop from the team, but again his in-laps and his outlap were excellent, and Bortolotti from 6th on the grid suddenly found himself into the podium positions and trying to chase down the race leader Thomas Preining. So Preining led, Bortolotti second, Engel up to 3rd, and Engel down to 4th place, with Miney and Wittmann just behind. Marco Wittmann driving after he had a real illness and lost 5 kilograms of weight coming into the race weekend. So in they all came for the second round of pit stops, a short 6-minute pit window, and Thomas Preining leading the charge, looking for a second victory of the weekend, a 3rd of the season. But there was a problem with his pit stop, a rare slow pit stop from the Manthey team. Over 9 seconds, costing him 3 seconds, and it would ultimately cost him the lead of the race and second place, because Bortolotti and Engel both leapfrogged him and got ahead as they came out ahead of the Austrian driver in 3rd place. So could he come back? Well, the problem was he now had 20 kilograms of success ballast on board, but with fresh tyres going the other way was Marco Wittmann, powering around the outside of Arjun, who was still getting his tyres up to temperature. His next target was Luca Engel, who was still getting his tyres up to temperature as well. And the German driver, 2-time champion, fired himself into 4th place. A great effort given how ill he was. So could he now get himself onto the podium? He began to hunt down Thomas Preining, who, as mentioned, was carrying that 20 kilograms of success ballast off the back of his race 1 victory. But Preining, the Austrian, driving fantastically well, was able to keep the champion behind him. It remained close in the battle for second place. Maro Engel about to pick up the championship lead as it stood by 21 points after 5 of the 8 rounds. But the big headline was the fact that the race leader was Mirko Bortolotti, a brand new car, that Temerario, for the 2026 season, a car which was not competitive in the opening weekend of the season at the Red Bull Ring, but which was now about to pick up a race victory. Mirko Bortolotti making history, the Temerario, its first win in DTM. Mirko Bortolotti and the Grasser Racing team absolutely delirious on the team radio. Bortolotti with his 5th career victory, his first since 2024, his first podium since wrapping up the championship at Huracán that season as well. And it was very emotional, getting out of the car to celebrate in front of the fans. Team boss Gottfried Grasser giving him a huge hug and leaping into the arms of the team. It was an emotional Mirko Bortolotti on the podium, with a fantastic weekend. 5th on Saturday, 1st on Sunday, the 7th different winner of the season. Maro Engel coming home in 2nd place with his 5th podium of the year, moving into the championship lead. Thomas Preining starting the weekend 9th in the championship, now 4th in the points after his 2nd podium of the weekend, with Marco Wittmann, Luca Engel and Arjun rounding out the top 6. Kelvin van der Linde, Ricardo Fallah, Jules Gounon and Matteo Caroli in the top 10 too.